Critically acclaimed carriers such as Emirates and Qatar Airways often take the spotlight away from the smaller flag carriers across Arabia, many of which offering onboard products equally, if not better than the two giants. We have highlighted our positive experiences aboard airlines such as Gulf Air, Middle East Airlines and Saudi Arabian in previous videos. But today we're glad to share with you the first of two in-depth videos about Oman Air. It's an airline that is rarely a convenient choice for us, as their target market isn't connecting passengers, but rather those that embark on a trip to the Sultanate of Oman. The airline has recently reorientated its product to cater better to this clientele, which included getting rid of their little-used first-class product. For this reason, Oman Air has offered us a complimentary trip to share those changes and our opinions on them here at Simply Aviation. And because transparency is non-negotiable for us, it is important to highlight right away that the ticket for this trip was provided to us at no charge. However, we refuse to share the finished scripts and videos before publication and do not accept any cash compensation or allow any alterations to the opinions we want to share. And you will see, especially in the upcoming business class review, that I am not happy with everything we experienced. Most of the changes at Oman Air pertain to their first class, or former first class, the seats of which are now available to business class customers for an additional charge, and in our upcoming review we will compare them to Oman Air's standard business class seats in detail. This video will be available ahead of time for our channel members, which generously support our mission to create the most detailed flight reviews possible through their financial contributions right here on YouTube. If you are interested in supporting us as well, or simply want early access to videos such as that one, click on the join button beneath this video to find out more. In addition to what I just mentioned, when an airline offers us a free ticket, we also always insist to review their economy class product as well. We don't just want to indulge in luxury, but find out whether they do well where it matters for most passengers. And this is the journey I will take you along on today, covering their service on an overnight flight aboard one of their Boeing 787-8s and on the return flight during daytime aboard a 787-9, helping us give you the most complete picture of Oman Air's Boeing 787 economy class product. I'm glad you've decided to join us on this trip, so let's get going.
Bitte beachten Sie, dass an der nächsten Station kein
Aviation geeks and frequent flyers, welcome to this episode of our narrated flight review series, Brutally Honest. Today we're starting off with similarities to a previous iteration of the series, namely the one featuring Oman Air that we shot back in 2022, because today we will also fly from Germany down to Oman, also on an overnight flight, also in economy class, and coincidentally even aboard the exact same aircraft, Alpha 4 Oscar-Sierra Alpha, a 2015 built Boeing 787-8. But while there are similarities, there are also differences, which we'll take a particularly close look at today. We're at Frankfurt Airport this afternoon, making our way over to Terminal 2 from where Oman Air operates out of. However, when Frankfurt Airport's massive new Terminal 3 is slated to open in 2026, things will be shuffled around, so make sure to check which terminal your flight operates out of. Since I am very early, check-in was done in no time, and we're off to our gate. Terminal 2 is a bit special in that security checks take place directly at the gate, so buying drinks before departure is a bit of a headache around here. Take a look at this cool time-lapse I captured while waiting for my flight. I'm always on the lookout to create quality B-roll footage to add to our videos, and whenever you see footage like this, rest assured it's been filmed by ourselves and never pulled from some generic stock footage library. To achieve this elegant blurry effect on time-lapse shots, I've long wanted to invest in an ND filter, but for the longest time I simply couldn't justify spending €300 on something so specific. And that changed thanks to the generous support we received from you guys. Every single person listed here is a channel member, people who've chosen to support our work by contributing their own hard-earned money, allowing us to dedicate more time to the channel and continue improving our content, like this for instance. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your support. As mentioned, Alpha 4 Oscar Sierra Alpha will take us down to Muscat tonight. This 2015-built Boeing 787-8 was taken over by Qatar Airways just days after I flew with it. This was actually its third last rotation with Oman Air after more than a decade in service with them. As of June 2025, Oman Air operates a widebody fleet consisting of just 8 Boeing 787-9s. As part of the airline's restructuring, they just gave away their final 787-8 to Qatar Airways after already retiring its fleet of A330s back in January. Their 737NGs will follow in 2026, so by then Oman Air will have a straightforward, modern fleet consisting of just Boeing 787-9s and Boeing 737 MAXs. Our flight time to Muscat tonight will be around 6 hours. Entering the plane through door 2, the economy class is to our right, consisting of Collins Aerospace Pinnacle seats laid out in a 333 configuration. Immediately, you can tell the airline has its own distinct design language, incorporating Omani colors, shapes, and patterns into its product along the journey. The color turquoise, Oman Air's primary design color, likely represents the Sultanate's connection to the sea, and it's visible everywhere. Due to its geography, Oman has always been culturally connected to the ocean, as is evident for instance in their cuisine, which relies on seafood much more than their neighbors, but more on the seafood in the upcoming business class review. We are in 39A on tonight's flight, a left side window seat. Like the others, ours comes with an adjustable headrest too, but only adjustable on the sides and not vertically. Waiting for us already are a pair of earbuds, a pillow with one of these scratchy single-use covers, and a blanket. Being 180 centimeters tall, the legroom is phenomenal. Even more so if you keep in mind that Oman Air's longest route takes only 8.5 hours, the one from Muscat to Manila. There's also a bifold tray table, as well as adjustable entertainment touchscreens with an audio port and a USB port at the bottom. Personal universal power ports are located beneath the seats, and coat hooks are installed on the sides. In the ceiling above, you will find adjustable reading lights, but unfortunately no personal air vents. All in all, a great cabin, superbly clean and in a really good state considering the aircraft has already spent a decade in service.
نود رحب ترحيبا حارا بأعضاء سندباد برنامج المسافر الدائمين والسندباد الصغير. إذا رغبتم في متابعة هذا البرنامج نرجو منكم التواصل مع أفراد طاقم الطائرة استعدادا للإغلاق. نرجو منكم التأكد من ربط حزمة المقاعد وجامزة الراس إذا وضع صحيح وطاولاتها مغلقة. شكرا اختياركم طيران أماني ونتمنى لكم
Now, we're off to Oman. What a beautiful climb out of Frankfurt. As you can see, the aircraft also comes with some good lavatories. Hand lotion and travel mist are provided in addition to the hand soap. And there are lavatories which are fitted with changing tables. Before dinner is served, let us also briefly take a look at Oman Air's in-flight entertainment system. The carrier opted for Thali's popular Avant entertainment system, which comes with personal touchscreens at every seat. A solid selection of movies and TV shows is available to watch on demand, with dedicated sections for Western, Arabic, European, Hindu, and Urdu content. Games, music, and a 3D mapping application is provided too. The complementary pair of earbuds works well, but you can also use your own wired headphones. I also appreciate that the screens are fitted with a layer that makes them appear dark when looked at an angle, so you're not bothered by what your seatmate is watching. Oman Air's Boeing 787s are fitted with in-flight Wi-Fi, which unfortunately wasn't working on today's flight. Right as we're passing my hometown of Vienna, dinner is being served. Back in 2022, Oman Air offered a little salty snack and a round of beverages before the main meal service, but nowadays they just jump right in. There were two options for the hot main dish, either pasta or chicken biryani. I obviously chose the latter. The main dish was accompanied by a cold bread roll and a pack of unsalted butter, a little cup of water, a cucumber salad, some light chocolate mousse, and a beverage of your choice. To drink, a variety of juices and soft drinks was offered. Beer and wine were available at no extra charge as well. Overall, this is a solid meal service, especially for a 6-hour overnight flight. Nothing about it was revolutionary though. One might call this overall generic, but in a good way. Unremarkable so that it leaves no bad aftertaste, quite literally. Compared with 2022 though, you can see how the snack service before the main meal was cut, there is no chocolate bar anymore, and individual elements were of lesser effort, such as the bread roll, and the rhubarb cake was also more elaborate to make than today's chocolate mousse. One must not forget though, that small cuts to a benchmark-beating meal service leave us with still a fantastic dinner service considering the length of the flight. Afterwards, tea and coffee were offered as well, and with that, it's time to shut our eyes for a few hours. Back in 2022, this was aided by the complimentary amenity kits with eye shades that were handed out. These were nowhere to be seen anymore, but they are still listed on the airline's website, so they might be available upon request. They're definitely not proactively handed out though anymore. After a little nap, the crew did one more round of beverages before landing, during which they also handed out chocolate muffins. A coffee and a little sweet treat will get me started for the day ahead. With that, we are descending into Muscat. But our video isn't over yet, as I will take you along on the flight back to Frankfurt as well, this time a daytime flight and aboard the larger 787-9. After spending a night in Muscat, I flew over to Bangkok in Oman Air's new business studio, their former first class turned premium business class. And from Bangkok back to Muscat in their regular business class featuring Collins Aerospace's Apex suites. This video will be out next month, but available for our channel members ahead of time soon, most likely sometime next week, as a thank you for their dedication to our work. Now it's time to transit here in Muscat and head back to Frankfurt. In contrast to mega hubs such as the ones in Dubai, Doha, or Jeddah, the airport in Muscat is pleasantly compact. Walking distances are smaller, the security lines are less busy, and in general, Muscat's 2018 opened Terminal 1 is architecturally stunning. My flight from Bangkok touched down exactly at noon, and we taxied to our gate, got out of the plane and through security in just 20 minutes. Admittedly, the inbound flight was in business class, which helped us deboard quicker than usual. This gives us some additional time to check out the lounge. When flying economy class, obviously, lounge access is not included. However, the airport is home to a pay-to-use lounge that is supposedly very good. Ben Schleppek of travel blog 1 Mile at a Time called it easily his favorite contract lounge he has ever visited. The Primeclass Lounge is pretty large, with an extensive buffet, play areas, shower rooms, and general seating. It is absolutely worth a visit if you're at the airport for longer, but I don't quite share that level of enthusiasm about it. It's also fairly crowded, and while being one of the better ones, I wouldn't call it the best contract lounge I've visited. Today was, coincidentally, Omani National Day, which brought live music, ceremonies, and traditional food and beverages to the lounge, and that was an outstanding addition. Now it's time to head back to Europe. This time we'll be traveling aboard Alpha 4 Oscar Sierra India, a 2019-built Boeing 787-9. Our plane is fitted with 30 business class and 258 economy class seats. But Oman Air also operates a layout with the aforementioned former first class seats up front, thus with overall fewer seats. After entering the plane through door 2, we're passing through one more row of business class before we're in the economy section of the plane. The Boeing 787-9 features the same Collins Aerospace Pinnacle seats, so I won't repeat all the seats' features. Only that this time, I was able to adjust the headrest vertically, so maybe on the first flight it was just stuck. Other than that, same amenities, and the legroom felt the same too. It's important to note that the bulkhead rows cost extra to reserve, and the crew makes sure you don't just sit down there during the flight without having paid for it. Now it's time for the last takeoff of this trip. Once again, we started right into the main meal service. Two options were given again, where I went with a lamb kapsa, which was served alongside another cucumber salad, some vanilla pudding, a cold bread roll with butter, a cup of water, and a beverage of choice. An overall delicious meal serving, aided by the fact that rice-based dishes like biryanis, kapsas, and curries just make fantastic airplane meals as they retain most of their quality when being heated up. Considering how upscale Oman Air is, I feel like the reliance on turquoise takes, especially from elements of the soft product like the cutlery, takes away the overall elegance and gives it an unnecessarily cheap appearance. Afterwards, tea and coffee were offered again. Overall, the flight was very similar to the first one, with the same entertainment system and content selection. This time the Wi-Fi worked, with the usual airplane speeds, making it mostly useful for sending messages and emails. 5 megabytes start at $6 with the most premium package being 40 megabytes for $29. As you can tell, the in-flight connectivity system comes with the limitations that were standard last decade when the plane was manufactured. Before landing, a little snack box with some beverages were handed out. This time we didn't just get a muffin, but a little cheese sandwich too. As we're starting our descent into Frankfurt, I have to say Oman Air is still a really good airline. Their economy class product leaves little to be desired, even though my relentless pedantry makes it appear mediocre. Therefore, I need to highlight once again, if my point of comparison are the best airlines in the world, and the service on my last flight with Oman Air was excessively generous, any airline would seem mediocre in comparison. But Oman Air certainly isn't. It's strong where it needs to be, having some of the best legroom you will find in economy class, offering solid meals, a great entertainment selection, mindful of the cultural backgrounds of its passengers, and some of the most professional staff I have encountered on all my travels. And because most of their flights are just between 4 and 7 hours, their service seems even more remarkable in comparison to what you could expect from a European or American carrier on flights of that length. I continue to believe Oman Air is a good choice regardless of whether you travel to Oman or are just transiting in Muscat, despite a few cuts here and there to make the airline more profitable overall. With that, welcome back to Frankfurt. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for coming along this trip and watching our review until the end. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure you are subscribed to our channel, as we have plenty more to come. If you're down for another video, why not take a look at our flight aboard Taiwanese airline Starlux, which I think has some of the best corporate branding and in-flight meals I have encountered so far.